hear the phrase climate change, the first thing that comes to mind is a world enveloped with drastic storms and weather. As students, we perceive this phenomenon as the change of the weather pattern and is a global climatic occurrence. Additionally, we think it has negative long-term repercussions on our communities and environment. More frequent and severe droughts, storms, heat waves, rising sea levels, melting glaciers, and warming oceans are a few examples of its long-term effects. Being aware and having a sufficient knowledge about this alarming issue is a one way to start to help spread awareness and encourage the young generation to take vital actions. We, House of Joseph from 12 Ephesians, have gathered the main roots of climate change in our country. This will serve as a great starting guide to have better recognition of what aspects to change to effectively counteract climate change.
According to Sea Circular 2020, the Philippines is one of the world's worst offenders on marine plastic pollution, with 0.28 to 0.75 million tons per year of plastic entering the oceans from coastal areas and Manila Bay. This ocean-contaminating waste can lead to the death of millions of oxygen-producing organisms known as ocean phytoplanktons that are responsible for 70% of the world's oxygen production and help reduce greenhouse gas levels in the atmosphere.
The physics of the sun's global heat energy distribution is very well established. However, the arrival and disruption of greenhouse gas to the system makes it a special physics case study that plays a role in predicting future global temperature under this dynamic condition.
The greenhouse gas comes in many forms and come from many sources. One prominent variety of this type of gas is carbon dioxide, mass-produced by burning fossil fuels. Vehicles, such as jeepneys and tricycles, use this method to acquire energy fuels. Additionally, data from the Department of Environment and Natural Resources or DENR show that vehicular sources account for 65% of air pollution in the country, primarily in Metro Manila. Not only that, but it is also mass-produced in powering infrastructure such as San Miguel Corporation Global Power Holdings Corp. That utilizes burning gas fuels. Another significant greenhouse gases that are produced are methane and nitrous oxide, main greenhouse byproducts of agricultural sectors. According to National Integrated Climate Change Database Information and Exchange System, the agriculture sector in the Philippines makes up 29% of the overall greenhouse gas emissions in the country, which comes in second behind vehicular sources.
There has also been major lack of awareness about burning plastic and the usage of chlorofluorocarbons in products. Based on a study released by the Statista Research Department, the Philippines consume and release around 2,000 metric tons of chlorofluorocarbons. In chemistry, if these chlorofluorocarbons reach high up in the stratosphere, they are broken down by ultraviolet rays to release chlorine atoms. These chlorine atoms then reacts to the ozone molecules in an ionic bonding that results in the breakage of ozone molecules and release in the formation of chlorine monoxide and oxygen gas. This reaction will then bloom in a continual chain chemical reaction that freely and completely destroys 100,000 ozone molecules over time with just one chlorine atom in the ozone layer.
After we've discussed the main roots of climate change in our country, we've figured out that various agencies like the Department of Health and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources have recorded a gradual rise in baggy temperatures since the 1980s. This suggests that we should concentrate more of our efforts on local organizations to raise awareness about climate change as a critical step in reconstructing humanity's entire future. Being able to focus on our own people might encourage them to pay attention and prevent them from being ignorant of what is actually happening. As they say, we must first acknowledge that there is a problem before we can address it, and only then will we be able to actually alter the things that are contributing to climate change in our nation, and with enough cooperation, perhaps even the entire world.